Hello, beautiful souls. This is Sadhana. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to a deck pairing video going back to the Ember and Aura Tarot. One of you requested more combos for this tarot deck. So I thought before I carry on with new decks, I'm going to go back and really give this tarot deck a good kick at the can, so to speak. So I'm pairing it today with the Goddess Knowledge cards. In the center is, have all been shuffled. This is a totally random draw. Is the moon goddess, the Mayan moon goddess, who reigned in Mexico throughout the Yucatan Peninsula. And if you just scan down here, she's also called the Queen, our mother, white lady, goddess of becoming. It has to do with fertility, making woman fruitful, as well as fertilizing the earth. She is particularly honored as a patroness of childbirth and a healing goddess of medicine. Like many moon goddesses, she is the patroness of weaving. Like the waxing and waning moon is comfortable with all sides of her life. Her energy is midwife to our own creative ideas. This deck works so beautifully with Ember and Aura. Not only its color, but its medicine. And so here we have the Five of Cups. So she's going to help you, right? The energy of this goddess. And you could place this card on your altar and meditate with her energy. It's going to help you to release whatever it is you need to release so that you can find your creative potential. And this combo feels like the type of combo you would leave out for a couple of days and allow to marinate and to journal with. Because the Goddess Knowledge cards aren't just a quick read. There's something that needs to be integrated and absorbed. And the Diviner of Swords, the Queen of Swords here, feels like she is urging you on to your potential, your creative potential, your light of illumination. And so work with this goddess, work with her energy to find that. And she has her back to the Five of Cups. So she's saying to you, stop it, smarten up, let that go. You know, be in the light of the moon, be brave enough to be in the light of the moon. It's okay to be with your shadows. Your shadows are part of who you are, but you don't have to carry them on your shoulder, carry them on your sleeve all the time. The next goddess is Arianrhod. Arianrhod is a matriarchal Welsh triple moon goddess, both virgin and mother, famed for her beauty. She may be identical to the Cretan moon goddess Ariadne. Like all moon goddesses, she has a special love, concern, and responsibility for all life, especially for the green growing things of the earth. And then just skipping down here, Arianrhod, keeper of time, giver and nurturer of life, shows us the universality and cyclicity of our lives. That's a good word. She is there to nurture us through the dark night of our soul changes. Some of these cards are, oh no, it goes this way. Wow, look at that color. She's there to help us through the dark night of the soul. Wow, and she is going to help us through, again, very similar reading to the last one. She's going to help us with the letting go. And that sense of, you know, you've done enough. You've done all that you can. And to walk forth in the energy of the moon, and to trust into the moon, and to trust into the feminine, the divine feminine energy is the way to go. And again, generally speaking, the back of everything in this goddess card is to the sun. So isn't that interesting? We have the sun and the moon, which brings in the whole idea of balance. And maybe that's about letting go of the doing, because so the sun does represent the action, the taking charge. It is about the control. So think of all of the things that are associated with fire. right? So that's pretty powerful. And we'll do one more. So Hera. Hera is the ancient goddess who, before she appeared as a wife to Zeus in Greek mythology, was a powerful matrilineal queen in her own right. All-powerful protector of children, women during childbirth, associated with money, presider over all aspects of public life. She was often represented with a peacock, symbolic of beauty, luxury, and immortality. The spots on its feathers reflect the starry firmament, and the peacock has knowledge of the weather, reflecting the ancient role of the goddess as bringer of the seasons. Hera is a mature, powerful goddess combining both practicality and nurturing, a strong image of the supremacy of the queen within. Wow. So this is the image for Hera. So Hera's looking to the left, and so we'll have a look at what Hera's paying attention to. And sorry for the mispronunciation of the goddess's names. Okay, so whether this is about a choice, I don't know why. It's like these cards are magnetic. They're like floating away. Depending on what your question was. So we didn't ask questions. These are just sample readings. Hera is there to support you, to find the strength that you need with this. And I love this Lover's card. This Lover's card, look, we here have the moon. We have the feminine energy here, the masculine energy here, the sun. There is a journey that has been part of this experience, right? So look to the artwork, go back, read the back of the card again, see how the peacock feathers speak to you. And then we have the Queen of Wands over here. So there's a lot of internal strength that is being built in support of this reading, right? Two strong queen energies. So just allow that to kind of percolate and grow with you as you reflect upon your question. The next oracle deck is a deck for Wonder Walking by Amy Wan. Love the labyrinth on the back of these cards. And here we have the intuition card. So have a look at the keyword, have a look at the energy of the painting, what that evokes in you. The butterfly is facing towards the hanged. Ooh, that's interesting. Think about the butterfly in the cocoon and the energy that is reflected here in the hanged one. And imagine a conversation between the butterfly and the hanged one. This particular butterfly has already emerged. And so, that's what I'm seeing here. And perhaps the butterfly has transformed from this need to always be doing, this need to always be busy. Look at the closed eyes of the woman in the Ten of Wands. Look at the keyword on the central card and allow what needs to come forth for you to come forth, because there's something really powerful in between this particular image of the woman and the keyword here. You can just forget about the Ten of Wands energy and just allow that to grow in your reading. Okay, so let's do this one next. I love these cards. Fauna. Animal energy. Strength in animal energy, support in animal energy, trust, listening, messages. What comes up for you? Air. So we're looking at a bird here. Perhaps the bird has touched the water, dipped its feet in the water, and is flying away. Maybe it's blood. This is such a beautiful deck for a deep reflection. And so is this tarot deck. So that's why I've paired them together. You can really allow, you know what this looks like? It looks like the animal is running away from the Eight of Wands. It looks like this is a weapon. And I would never, ever go there with the Eight of Wands. I wouldn't see the Eight of Wands as 8 arrows moving towards the fauna to kill the fauna. But that's what's coming up for me in this moment. And that's what I do when I read intuitively. And the order that I turn over the cards, of course, is going to help to build the story. But I always look at the way things are facing. The arrows are moving towards the bird. They're not moving away from the bird. So there's something in there. Are you the bird? Are you the bird? And then we have judgment on the other side. So you are emerging. You're definitely emerging. You may be emerging quickly. You might want to go to Eight of Wands meaning. This might be pushing you forward to hurry up, you know, like a kick in the pants. It's time for you to emerge. And you needed these 8 arrows, these 8 flaming wands behind you so you would like get on with it. You know you're ready to go to the next step, to the next layer. So trust in yourself as you read the cards. You can start the story and then edit the story. There's no shame in that. So here we have this monkey. The keyword is shape. So what does shape mean to you? What is shape? Does shape have energy? Does shape have a frequency? Does the monkey mean something to you? And of course, there is a beautiful, oh my God, it's so amazing, journal that goes with these cards. But these cards do stand alone as really impressive oracle cards. Look at the eyes of the monkey. What does the sphere mean to you? Is it a moon? Is it a ball? Is it the world? Is it a ball from your childhood? Does it just have, does this particular shape just reflect all shapes? What is the shape of this Eight of Swords? It's a jail. But if you look here, this bird, there's a sun. The bird is just sitting there on the edge of the sword. The bird can fly away at any time. The bird reflects the air. So why are we so attached to shapes? Whether the shape is a cage, or the shape is bars, or the shape is a circle. What's going on here? You know, what were you thinking of? What is your question? This shape is the same shape as this shape. Let's see what we've got on the left side. Ooh, more swords. So it's time. Time to change our perspective. That's one thing that's abundantly clear here. It's like time to set yourself free. But what does shape have to do with this? Maybe nothing. Maybe this is where we just kind of look at, it almost looks as if the monkey is floating away, like the woman is floating away on the left. And I love that the hands in all 3 cards are open. They are not clinging. They are so ready to float away. So ready to float away. Love, love, love this deck. The woods. The woods. What's going on? What does the woods represent? How do you feel in those trees? What is the medicine of the trees? Do you fear the trees? Do you love the trees? Do you love being in them? Is it challenging to get there? Is it easy to get there? What comes up when you see that card? Ah, the Fool, the journey through the woods. Another reason these decks work so beautifully together is, of course, this style of painting. And we've got the watercolor in the Ember and Aura as well, too. So the frequency of these two decks is just perfect. It's time for a walk in the woods. Oh, wow. What a perfect. Love this. I feel like right now this deck has got this like magnet. I wonder if it's the metallic edges on the side. It just doesn't want to stay there. It wants to do its own thing. It's almost like I see bells in a tree. The bells are ringing loud. Yeah. Time to take a walk in the woods. The next combination is the Falarkos Tarot by Carmen Sorrenti and the Self-Love Oracle by Akal Pritam. And I am going to do a full walkthrough of Akal's deck because I'm really attracted to his work. I have the two smaller little decks of his in the tiny hinged boxes. And because I loved his deck, his artwork so much, I decided to purchase this one. And this is a chakra-based deck. This particular card is the Aura chakra, so beyond the crowned chakra. And just look at the beauty of the artwork. Look at the message around the outside. Be your true self. Radiate that pure love. Feel the energy, feel your energy body. And I love how this is worked together with these two decks. Queen of Spirals, so that's the Queen of Earth. She loved the bull in front of her. Nobility, queen and nobility. Can also look to language as well too. The Falarkos tarot I have trimmed, which if I didn't say that already, I am going to do with this deck. I love the yellow trim. Ooh, and we have the Tower card. So this is a reading about really coming into your true self. And you'll see that in the Tower card in the Falarkos, it's really about busting open, breaking down the armor, breaking down the shell. It's been percolating for a while. And now it's time to set yourself free. And the Queen of Spirals is strong. She is so strong and noble. And it's exactly that. It's about the truth, your truth, living in authenticity. Yeah. So you'll see, if we get any minors, you'll see why I've paired these two together, because there's something about the artwork of this deck with the minors in the Falarkos that is absolutely stunning. The soul lesson here is presence, and we're in the crown chakra. So another very high frequency card. There's lots of writing and little messages, just like there is magnifique, just like there is in the Falarkos tarot. So here we have an ace. Kind of a theme going on, Ace of Wings. And look how the face in the card in the center is looking towards the ace. This is an internal focus. The eyes are covered. Something really powerful and potent going on here. Dreamer of Sparks. So that's your page. The soul lesson is presence. To be here, to be now, which is really challenging for the Dreamer of Sparks. She wants to be going on, moving, but she is super creative. And so the card in the center is a real balancing card for her. And I see this very much as there's this beautiful idea that's coming forth. And the card in the center is like the anchoring card. Another crown chakra card. I promised these were shuffled. Grounding. So I actually want to comment on that. It's really beautiful that that's included in this deck, that the grounding ritual is part of the crown chakra. And so that we're not all up in the air all the time in the ether. The grounding practice is really important, right? To be anchored on a daily basis, to feel our feet on the ground. And it's funny, now we have a card with not a lot of writing on it, and then we get this card. So we have 3 of wings, 3 of air. And so perhaps the grounding is the medicine for moving through the challenges of the 3 of wings. And the thing about the minors and the Falarkos is there is a lot going on. So it's really important to look to the little corners of every single one of the pictures and to see which part, which aspect of the picture is emerging for you. And I really see an emergence here. Like if you follow the image in this direction, right? And if you want to, and also look at what's emerging here. So this really feels like medicine for some kind of healing experience that's happening with that card here. Ooh, and we have 4 of spirals. So there is some kind of conflict. There is a lot of power. If you know the story of the 4 of spirals, this is the story of Cassandra and Apollo, but rather than diving into that myth, what I'm seeing here on the right feels like oppression, and on the left feels like emergence. And so this reading feels very much like a process of moving from one to the other or through one to the other. And I am not compelled to read cards 1, 2, 3. I tend to weave a story and look to the symbols, look to the images, look to the colors to try to find my way through the reading. Because if I were to read this 1, 2, 3, and of course we don't have a question, which doesn't help either. Yeah, I'm just not, it's not a fixed way of reading left to right. You can read right to left. You can read center, right, left, center. It doesn't matter. What's important is that you take your time to absorb the little nuances in the pictures. And maybe the persimmons in the foreground of the 4 of spirals have some particular significance and relationship to the question. So take your time as you kind of weave your story with oracle cards and with the tarot. But both of these decks are just very, very energetic, and I think that's why they work well together. So if you look on the right side of the oracle card to the mer creature possibly emerging from the water, this is the throat chakra. We are in the energy for the throat of ether, and we have this water in the background as well too. So the ritual is sound healing. So pick up on what is feeling good for you at this time. But the medicine for the throat is to use the throat. It's to speak. It's to sing. It's to chant mantra. It's to hum. It's to vocalize the breath. And then here's the Queen of Fire. So these have been really strong. The first couple ones anyway, really strong reading. What we got going on here? We've got the Wheel. So how are you going to move through this change? You're going to move through this change by saying what you want to say, by exercising your throat, by singing, by expressing, by chanting, by using your singing bowls. And what's going to come out the other side potentially is this, like I see the Queen of Sparks as the embodied, of all the queens, she is the one who is most comfortable in her skin, to be herself, to move in a way that makes her feel beautiful and sexy and authentic. She has nothing to prove. She knows exactly who she is. Just, I relate to her so deeply, and she shines brightly for all feminine energy, for all kinds of feminine energy. And so if you're able to heal through sound, then you may find her or step back into her energy, and she's there to support you. I want to go back to a deck for Wonder Walking because I think this deck works really well with the Falarkos too. And I have shuffled and put all the cards back in, so hopefully we don't get any of the same cards. This is Darkness. Whoa, look at that. Darkness. It's actually a perfect card for this deck because I find that the Falarkos goes there so easily. It's a deck of the dream world. It's a deck of dream medicine. And so to be in the dreams, to be in the darkness is exactly where we need to be for healing when we're doing this kind of work. So we have the Queen of Coral, so the Queen of Water, and the Lovers and Darkness. This really looks like a reading of exploring relationship in the darkness. Like this looks like something we don't need to overanalyze, to be comfortable in the passion of the relationship. This looks like a reading of healing for the sexual side of a relationship. And I'm really intrigued with the pink spots on the cheeks of the, well, in the tattoo, but also on the face here. And this pink splotch here. And the Queen of Coral is already healed. So really curious what kind of a question would have been stated to bring these kind of cards up. But kind of powerful, don't you think? Okay, let's do one more. We've had the intuition cards, so I'm just going to show you another one. This one is textures. Textures. So textures to me speaks of the heart chakra. So textures is about feeling. What do we feel with our hands, with touch? Is it rough? Is it smooth? Are you comfortable with the way it feels on your skin? Are you repulsed by it? Textures. In your mouth. Think about the textures, experiencing something in your mouth. It's actually quite a powerful keyword. Look at it. The colors are gorgeous. Okay. So this is the 10 of Pentacles. The colors are really, really beautiful. Holy cow. In the minors of the Falarkos Tarot, there is a minimal amount of color in the 2, and then it builds slowly, 3, 4, 5 through the 9. And so the 10s have a lot of color in them. And the 10s also mirror the aces in some way. So I'll show you the Ace of Spirals. So after we're done, I'll just show you the 10 of Spirals and the Ace of Spirals side by side. But let's see what I can pull out of this reading for you. 5 of Spirals. This is a very earthy reading, right? So when I think about textures, it's tangible. We feel it. Walking barefoot on the grass, feeling the earth with your feet, feeling the texture of the grass, feeling the texture of the sand, allowing the grass to scratch your skin, being with the fauna, being comfortable with the fauna. This feels like the medicine of your question. The medicine of your question is to touch. It's to feel tangibly, 3-dimensionally. Thank you for walking through these readings with me, and let me know if you have any questions about these decks or anything that I have said. And I think what I'm going to do next is trim the Self-Love Oracle tonight, and then I will do a walkthrough of all of Akal Prutan's decks that I have and share with you a little bit more about his work and how how I intend to work with the Self-Love Oracle as a chakra deck. So thank you for being here. Stay well. Namaste. One more thing, and I feel like I've done this before in a previous video, but I can't remember where, is the how in the minors in this deck, you get the evolution of the energy from the ace realized in the 10. Here is another example. So here is the ace of water, and then here's the 10 of water. So it's a really beautiful journey that unfolds in the minors in this deck, and it makes it really easy to work with because there's a real building of story and a real growing and a depth of the dream. It's like when you start to do dream work and you start to dream journal, you start to remember your dreams more, and the dreams start to have more impact and they become clearer and there's more understanding. And I just really feel this energy so beautifully shared in the Falarkos Tarot. So again, thanks for watching. Namaste.